That was the broker. Well, if it is, then
Hey guys, so I think that I'm live for like the first time in a long time. So we're gonna see how this goes and how my connection works. Also, it's gonna be really shitty. Just accept that. And I'm back to Italy, and then she's going to Germany. So now, I'm trying to learn how to work live so that I can use it better in the future. Now that I don't have any viewers on, so that's sort of annoying. But we'll see. I went to Dollywood today. It was one of those just super commercialized. It's one of those places where because you think about the American resource in a place like that. Just looking over here and trying to see if this is coming up. I'm not really sure if live video is something that I'm good at talking to a camera, like directly. Like, can you guys tell a difference in me talking to a camera and I'm talking into it right now versus just like my regular looking at the screen? I can't really tell a huge difference. But anyways, I'm in Gatlinburg, and I went to Dollywood today. So this video is titled, "Should I Sell My Business?" So, and you want to book business and run. Thinking about it, yesterday morning, I went out for a walk, and I thought about, what would my life look like if I sold, like for us, the creative phase merchant 700 products. I think that's about it. 100 original designs for merch. Some of you guys may have seen it. Basically, I was like, has anyone ever sold their merch business? How did you go about it? And then I got this flood of comments of people saying like, oh, you're not allowed to sell your merch business, like just stupid shit. Like, I don't know. I think they were just mad about it. And this is fishy. If you make so much money from it, then why would you want to sell it? And I'm like, have you not ever heard of someone selling their business to move on to their next business? Like, entrepreneurs do that shit all the time. We're tired of whatever we're working on, and we want to go work on something else. Like, it's not that complicated. But so I made that post, and I actually talked to a guy who had his up for sale with a brokerage, and somebody else brought up the Empire Flippers guide. So if you guys don't know who Empire Flippers is or what they're about, they sell online businesses. They sell a lot of FBA businesses, and they also sell a few merch businesses have sold. And I've seen one that I think one of them sold for them for around $70,000. So, I know that I'm not going to be able to get that for mine, I don't think. But if I could get, 20, 30, 40 for my merch and FBA combined, yeah, I'm going to take that. I'm so sick of doing this stuff. Like, I'm just sick of managing everything. It just makes me like stressed out thinking about it. Like, I know that's bad. Like, I was reading this book. I think it's called the E-Myth Revisited, or some new version of that. But basically, it talks about how there are a lot of entrepreneurs who create jobs for themselves instead of businesses. And what this means is that we create like all these bullshit to do. Like, when I get home from my trip, there's like a laundry list of shit that I need to do for this, for FBA, for merch, just for my Etsy Printful integration. Like, there's stuff that I have to handle just to get my customers. And that's real estate, but at least it will be a different thing. Like, it won't be the same old thing. Actually, if you guys who are listening, and can you guys comment and tell me if the audio quality is garbage or not? I don't think it's great, but like it'd be great to know that I wasn't just speaking into the void. Although I speak into the void a lot, so it probably is. This is somewhat fair. I'm sure that the people on the balcony are really sick of hearing my shit. Just leave a comment and say whether or not the audio quality sucks. So, yeah. What do you sell on Etsy? So on Etsy, I have a lot of my Amazon merch designs are basically what I did was take a few of my designs that would look good on onesies for babies, and I sold them on Etsy in the Etsy Printful integration. So it's the same concept as print on demand, but the only thing I really don't like about it is that you have to pay ahead of time for your order to get fulfilled. Like you get paid on Etsy, but you have to pay on Printful as well. So like I sold a baby onesie and I get like $16 comes out of my personal bank account, and then like $25 gets deposited later, $8 profit. And then I have to pay Etsy fees on the listing and on everything else. So really more like $7 profit. It's Audible, but it's RoboCop like. Thank you, Jesse Jacobs, for that comment, and I really appreciate your honesty because that is very meaningful in this day and age. Sorry about the RoboCop content that I'm putting out. Video is choppy. Audio quality is okay, but video is not. Thank you for that as well. I am actually going to go back in my hotel room and see if I can get this some still in Gatlinburg. Those of you who don't know. And okay, tell me how the audio has changed and the video has changed and if the quality is any. My Wi-Fi at this hotel is kind of garbage. I've been trying to get on Facebook all day and run my advertisements, and it's just not working that well. So if the RoboCop audio quality is still present, just let me know. Okay, so when did you last upload to merch, and how are you doing sales-wise? So upload or anything was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. I uploaded some stuff. Sales-wise, last month I did $700 and something in royalties without touching it, and that was sort of, I don't know. It was like one of those things where I was happy to see it, but I was like, man, I should really be like putting more effort into this and like, growing it and putting some kind of new designs up every day, much less every month. Like I should be doing it every single day. So in terms of sales are good, but not growing. Before they were actually growing. Someone says better. Okay, awesome. But now they're kind of tapering off. I usually do around $700 to $900 in royalties a month for merch, and that's with pretty minimal effort. So I do consider it to be a passive income stream. Somebody told me on one of the Facebook groups that it was basically the equivalent of having a rental property without doing any work. And I was like, whoa, that's not the case, because you are doing work if you have to run a merch business, designs, and then you have to go after the people who steal the designs that you make. And there's just always a little bit of managerial stuff to be doing at any given time. But if you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and leave them in this little chat box thing, and I'll answer the best I can. But I just kind of wanted to start a little discussion on selling the businesses. And back to the point of Empire Flippers. Empire Flippers has sold a merch business for around 70 grand, and they've also sold some FBA businesses. So I thought about contacting them, and I may have a Skype call or just regular phone call with them in the next week to discuss that. I'll probably wait until after fourth quarter if I do sell it, because I know that I can get at least 3,000 probably easily from that. So I'll get that money towards the end of the year up, and maybe be able to put this on my 2019 instead of 2018. That's probably how I'll structure it if I do it. But anyways, do I hire designers? In short, no. I have tried to hire them in the past, and the problem is that they don't understand what I'm trying to tell them, or their designs weren't good, or they couldn't get back to me and needed. And by the time I was spending all this time managing my designers, I could have just done the work myself. So that was really an issue of finding good help. And I couldn't really find the kind of I know if I kept searching, I could have probably found one, but there really is like for Upwork and Fiverr, honestly, Upwork, 1 out of 5 people that you hire will actually be good at what they do and do what you tell them to do and do it in a relatively quick amount of time. So I've just had decent luck with that. I have a videographer, someone who edits my videos and basically he's really good, and I found him on Upwork. But for designers, I did not have that much luck, and they don't understand the concept of stealing other people's designs. So there's that to worry about. The way that I do most of my designs is I make shirts that I think people would want to wear. I would want to wear. So I think of one of my friends or someone in my family, and I sort of make a design to fit their personality, sort of a target marketing thing. But yeah, next week, actually tomorrow, I go home and then I will be going full force into the real estate field. So I already have a potential listing contract to sign this week. I have not even gotten to the MLS. I have not joined the board of realtors or realtors association. I don't need to be in. Haven't done that yet, but I will do that this week. And I will also get what's some kind of phone app for the lock boxes. And basically, this app allows you to get into any house in the area or whatever. I guess any house in Alabama that you can get into, and you don't have to. I think you pay like $225 a year or something like that. It's like a subscription basis. So when I get back, I have to do that, and then I'm going to my first weekly meeting for my office, Caldwell Banker. But yeah, if you guys have any more questions, you can just go ahead and leave them in the comment section. And I'll probably hang out here for a few more minutes and just sort of talk and shoot the shit with you guys because I don't go live very often, and I don't have a lot of live video broadcasting experience. I guess I'm sort of better when I have my videos planned out, but I just needed to vent today, and I didn't really want to leave this idea up in the air. But one of the major things that made me realize that I should probably look into selling those businesses is how much I've grown to loathe working on them. I can get excited about reading a real estate book. I cannot get excited anymore about watching a merch video. Effing brat, beautiful makeup, repulsive. Don't really know what that means, but I'm gonna remove that. Yeah, okay. Get some kind of creepy messages from time to time, but you guys understand that, don't you? You kind of get the whole, like, if you are a YouTuber, weird people will get onto your comment section and actually, they'll message you and try to add you on your personal Facebook because people are weird. Yeah. Just gonna go ahead and delete that. And report. But yeah, if you guys have any more questions about me and why I wanted to get into real estate, or me and why I want to get out of my FBA business, mostly want to get out of merch, to be honest. I really don't even, FBA is so easy. Like, you just send the stuff in and you make money. Like, it's really not that complicated. There's a lot of tactics and a lot of different products that you can source. But at the end of the day, if you just buy low and sell high, you will make a profit and you will have money consistently coming into your account. So a lot of people ask me, how can you get started? And the best way is books, and you can spend probably $100 and start a decent book business. So yard sales, etc. There are a number of places to source, libraries, friends and family that who might be willing to donate to your sort of cause. But that's just one of the ways that you can get started. But I'm actually going to be probably speaking with the guys this week or next week about if they can even sell those businesses. They may not be able to even work with them because it is a small business. They usually work with like businesses $1,000 or $500, $500,000, $1 million, $2 million. and I believe they get like 15% on that whenever they sell it. So that is quite a chunk of change. I'm used to being able to screen share with you guys. I haven't really learned that yet. I'm wanting to do a video interview with someone, and actually I wanted to do a Google Hangouts, and they are having like, I guess they record their Hangout or maybe they go live. I'm not really sure. But I want to do some sort of interview, and maybe it could be live, maybe it couldn't. But if you guys understand that and know how to do it, please leave it after this video, how to do a lot of video stuff. I have been running so ads in the past couple of, actually, I sent a page for my real estate company. Are you using PicMonkey, Canva, Adobe? So I actually use PicMonkey, and it's like $7.99 a month, and it's even by the year. But I really don't understand Canva, and I know it's simple, but like I just learned PicMonkey first, so that's the one that I use. Adobe that I could if I sat down with it for a while, but it takes a long time to figure that stuff out. I use a resizer. So basically I'll just go in and make the shirt 450 by 540 pixels because it has to be 4500 by 5400 when you upload it to Merch. I'll make that design in PicMonkey, and then I'll change it to a resizer 4500 by 5400. So I actually have a headache because we rode roller coasters all day long. I guess that's a decent reason to have a headache. But the main thing that I have sort of learned is that when you get sick of something like this, your gut sort of time to tap out, more or less. I anticipate selling many businesses in the future. And real estate, what my passion is in helping people start their business, and not was interested in maintaining it, I would be in a whole different sector of mindset. But I really like the creation process and being able to start something from the ground up. And like merch, my merch business was my baby for like a year. Like seriously, I built it from nothing. It became like something that I put a lot of effort into, and I got up every single morning and worked on it, and I was excited, and I was like constantly trying to learn about design and learning about the rights to images and how does that work and how does the legal aspect of that work. So I do feel like I've learned a lot of stuff that I can take into my other businesses in the future. Like even when I was about to run a Facebook ad today, I was like, well, I don't know if I can use that or not, because so that's someone's image. Like, and a lot of people don't even know that stuff. Like that's very basic information. Like, yeah, of course you can't use someone's image that they made. It's theirs. But a lot of people don't realize that. So one of the things that I wanted to focus on was taking my strengths from my FBA business and my merch business into my real estate career. Like, how can I do the marketing? How can I show people how to showcase items? I have been listing things since I was 13 years old and taking pictures of stuff for longer than that. So it's one of those things where the skills that you use or the skills that you learn in even if it's having a candy business in school, you take those skills to whatever field you go into after that. So yeah, if you guys, leave any kind of questions in the chat, I'll be here for a few more minutes. I don't really have a super detailed itinerary because I am really tired and sort of just winding down for the evening. We are in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and we have to drive home a while tomorrow. I need to see how far the drive is. Let's see if I can find it. So current location to home. Oh, it's like 5.5 hours. So Diane says, why not take some time away from it for a month or two? Would hate to see you regret selling it. Diane, I think that's really fair, and it's a really good plan. I think that I'm going to do that, but at the same time, you've got to realize that for the last 3 to 6 months, it's been on the back burner, and I'll say for the last 3 months, it's been almost non-existent. Like I haven't been touching it very much. I'm extremely burnt out. It really sucks because I know that I could get back into it if I just left it alone. But I sort of one of the reasons I'll say for selling, or for wanting to sell rather, is that I want startup capital for my real estate business. That sounds really like, I don't know. It sounds like short term thinking, but it's really not. If I get 20 to 30 grand that I can play around with, I can get a rental property and rent it on Airbnb. I can have more money to, fund my real estate career, more money for marketing, more money for a cushion, and more money to start something else. Like, I've been feeling like I need to start a different business for a while now. It's sort of, I don't know. Once you've done this for a long time, you realize when something is sort of over. Like, it's kind of like transitioning or like a death. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of weird. But the startup money from selling would be so awesome to just have and to be able to start to put that into something new, because I love having monthly passive income, but at the same time I would rather have a large chunk of change at once. That way I can sort of do whatever I want with it for my new businesses. And I mean, it's like when you win the lottery and they ask you if you want it all in one lump sum or you want it paid out in monthly payments for the rest of your life. This is like me being like, okay, I'll take the lump. I know that I can turn the lump sum into something more if you just give it to me now. So it's basically like the time cost of money. If you have money now, you can do more with it. There's going to be an opportunity cost, of course, either way. So the opportunity cost for keeping the business is I have to put more time into that and more focus into that, and then I lack time and focus in my real estate career. So yeah, and you guys have any idea if any other YouTubers have talked about selling their merch business or their FBA business? Because in some of the Facebook groups, I know that if you go to Empire Flipper's website, they have actually done a video interview or about selling a merch business. And they also sell some Shopify stores, and they sell some drop shipping businesses as well. And a lot of people were kind of questioning the rationale of why would anyone want to buy a merch business or why would anyone want to buy an FBA business. And you have to understand that there are people with a lot more money than we have who just want to start something and not have to put in all the legwork. So basically, there are people who want to diversify their investments. Maybe they're in one field and they want to move into the FBA merch sector. So basically, by paying in a lump sum, they're taking away all of that hardship and annoying process of building something from the ground up. And one good thing about if I sold my business, they would have a lot of information to do their due diligence, because I have posted nearly everything on my YouTube channel for as I've grown and as I've developed this methods that I use. I did realize that I have some tactics for Merch by Amazon that I'm not going to say that nobody else knows about it, but I have my own way of doing it that I don't tell anyone about, because that's how I make money. And whether or not it's a weird system that I've created in my head that isn't really real or not, I don't know. One could argue that, but to me, it seems like I have some way of structuring my designs and my getting my designs that other people don't have. So I think that that's really cool that I could be able to bring that to my buyer if they did happen to want to buy my merch business. Selling my FBA business would be kind of weird, but I don't really have an emotional attachment to that. Honestly, it's just like 700 books that I got at the thrift store. Like, if we're just being real, there's some other stuff in the inventory from closeouts like Lowe's, Home Depot, Big Lots. But if I did decide to sell my FBA business, basically I'll sell the two accounts together. But if I sold my FBA business, I would sell it with the contingency that I could still make another FBA account and do business later. So basically I'll sign a non-compete with merch, but not with FBA, if that's even possible. Because FBA, there's a good chance that I'm going to want to do that again. But honestly, at the same time, FBA is, I'm not going to say that it's dying, but it's definitely slowed down for me in terms of, like, I can't get
product as cheap as I used to be able to. Okay, I used to be able to get books for 10 cents and 25 cents. Now I'm paying $1, $2. So I mean, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but when you're buying hundreds of books, it really does cut into profits every single month. And also, there's just, I don't know, there's a ton of legwork and competition involved in FBA now. I still love FBA. I would still like to do private label. I would like to even write a Kindle book at some point for whatever bullshit hobby that I discover in the future. Like, I want to do all of this stuff, but I don't really have enough time to do it all right now. And pretty much every self-help book, every business book, every psychology book says pick one thing and focus on it and put all of your efforts into it. Because if you are scattered like I am right now, you're not going to do very good at any one thing. And I will honestly say that for the last year, I've been extremely scattered. I've had success in all of the areas that I've, done business in, but I think that if I would have zeroed in on one thing, I could have done a lot better with it. Like, even if I would have just took merch and dove hard into that again this year, like I did last year, I probably could have done better with it. But it just gets to a point where you just don't want to do it anymore. And I could let somebody else take over the account. I could see profit with another designer, like if another designer wanted to be my uploader and do all that. But at the same time, like, I just want it to be done, and I want to get the monkey off of my back, and I want to get that startup capital for my next business. So I don't know if you guys think this is crazy. You feel free to tell me, because I could just be going on like this weird vacation rant. Sometimes that will happen whenever you leave your usual place that you are. You get all of this sort of I don't know, these weird feels that you don't usually have at home. Somebody says, what's the next business? So in short, it's going to be rental property investing, but specifically vacation rentals, Airbnb, and mostly Airbnb, to be honest. I eventually want to have Airbnbs in Florence, Huntsville, hopefully Chattanooga, hopefully Gatlinburg, hopefully Nashville, and eventually maybe New Orleans. I know that's sort of a long view, but I definitely think that I can take it to that level. And I don't like say that lightly. Like, I really do think it could happen. It's something that I really want to do because I'm sort of passionate about frugal travel and being able to go when I want to go and do what I want to do. And I know that the real estate field is like extremely demanding because you have buyers and sellers and contracts and all of these things going wrong, and inspections and open houses, and it's just, I don't know. I could read a book about it every day and still not really understand the whole entire market. But what my plan basically is to sell real estate in my area, become a real estate agent who people know as a listing agent, make enough money from that to start buying fix and flips and rental properties for Airbnb. So if my plan works, I hope to purchase a property in the next 12 months. So the way that I'll purchase the property is probably with a FHA first-time homebuyers loan with a very low down payment and a 30-year loan, because I don't really have of paying off the property that I buy. You can hold a property for 2 years, and after 2 years, you don't have to pay any capital gains tax. So if I flip it, I won't have to pay any taxes up to $250,000. And if you're married, you don't have to pay taxes up to $500,000. So that is my next plan. Any more questions from you guys? I'm about to log off. I've been on just rambling. I might try to go live more often. I know that if you schedule your going live, then maybe more people will come on and hang out with you. But honestly, whenever I see the little live screen, whoever I'm subscribed to, if I see that they're live, I'll usually click on it because you can actually talk to the person. It's just kind of cool to be able to speak with somebody in real time. I know that like YouTubers aren't really famous, but like whenever I see someone that I'm subscribed to who's live, I'm like, oh, like I'm just gonna go on there and like click and leave a comment. So even though my comments are just sort of stupid, sometimes I feel like I just type something out just to hear myself or just to see myself in the chat section. But I really appreciate everyone who came on and said a thing or two or sort of facilitated this discussion. I'm gonna think about it. You guys have given me something to think about, and my mom said the same thing, and a couple of people have told me the same thing. Like, don't take this decision lightly. And I don't know, I'm ahead from, and it's one of those things that if I didn't sell it, I would just think about selling it, and I know I'm gonna work less on it. So whether or not it grows or not is totally dependent upon me. I will just keep trying to push forward for now. I'm sort of in the in between stage, but I'm gonna try to go live more often and maybe make some more videos and try to do some interviews with different YouTubers and try to keep this channel active for whatever I'm doing. So I'm gonna end the stream now, but thanks guys so much for watching. I appreciate it.